Taylor Page loves to make people laugh, especially with jokes about Indigenous culture.
When you're in a room full of Indigenous people, everyone's just there to have a good time. It's all about storytelling. It's so many laughs, and it's full body laughs.
She's part of the Bannock Bums, an Indigenous comedy showcase that's been making Winnipeggers giggle for the last year and a half.
I actually started off at a Indigenous open mic. I went to just watch, and the host, the comedian who puts that on, Paul Rablowskis, I was walking and he's like, "Taylor, are you going up tonight?" And I was like, "No." And he's like, "Well, you should." So I did, and I had a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. And it's really great just making people laugh.
On Friday, she and 5 others took to the West End Cultural Center stage to poke fun at all things Indigenous.
I've got a dog. He's I love him. I don't really know what kind of dog he is, because he's what I'm sure most of you know, he's what's known as a res mutt. Yeah. Although he has been affected by being in the city a little too much lately. He only eats his kibble if there's Parmesan on it.
Proceeds from the event went to support the West End Resource Centre, a non-profit organization offering services like food security, employment assistance, and housing support to community members in the West End area. Jeff Gobeil was happy to lend a punchline to the cause. A social work student by day, he says there's been a resurgence in Indigenous comedy, though the comedians have always been here.
Growing up, I didn't see a lot of Native people in media, but I did have a Don Burnstick cassette tape that I just played till it broke. Had a huge influence on me. I thought if you had a recording on cassette tape that you were world famous. So to me, it was really cool to hear a Native person be world famous and be extremely funny. Comedy was a bit of a bridge between my parents who were divorced growing up, so me running around stealing all his jokes just worked perfect for a young me.
In Native culture too, like I said, we also have movies, lots of shows coming out, and they even just dubbed Star Wars officially into the language, into Anishinaabe. Did anyone watch this? Yeah, some people, yeah, it's amazing. When the trailer came out though, I was blown away by Native Chewbacca. I was stunned, man. Him and his crossbow there, big furry guy, being like,
Audience member Amanda Burwell isn't Indigenous, but says everyone should support Indigenous arts.
I just find that Indigenous people need to be more in the media and more represented, and Canada's multicultural, so we should accept our first culture, which is Indigenous, and then have everyone educated but also accepting of it. And you can get more accepting of it the more you're around it.
Gobeil says you can find out when more Indigenous comedy is happening through the Winnipeg Comedy Show's Instagram. Jonsa, APTN National News, Winnipeg.